Oh, sorry.
We are now live.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 367. I'm joined tonight with Jared Snyderman.
Fuck you.
What?
And cricket-free Extremist Bab.
Hello.
And Alex Slagle.
What's up, Facebook?
I know. So you might be wondering, why am I watching you guys on a Monday night? Well, I have a good answer for that. It's because Kyle Wagner got married last night, and we were all there, except for Babs.
Why wasn't I invited, Kyle? You know what? Was it because I mean, he probably thought I would have like really made fun of his statism like during the ceremony or something, and I could see where that would be awkward. So no hard feelings, Kyle. Not a bit.
We were over at the kids' table.
Yeah, we had the.
Yeah, we were literally like,
Oh, cool. Did they have like a special ceremony where they presented the government marriage certificate and maybe like did a blessing over that? And then how does that work with status when status get married?
No, it's actually fun, man. It was really cool. Like, we all got to hang out, and it was like Matt Bergman was there, Kyle was there, and it was like this is the first time we hung out since COVID hit. You know,
Yeah.
it's been like
That's
a year and a
awesome.
half. This is the first time we've all been together, especially on a Sunday, because it was a weird Sunday wedding.
yeah, it is kind of weird that it was on a Sunday, which is normally when we would have been hanging out in Anarchy Basement back in the day, but instead we're
Yeah.
at Kyle's wedding. So
Which is so weird.
Right on. Did
Yeah.
Kyle get a prenup? That's I think what everyone wants to know.
I'll ask him. I'll message him. Like, did you
I'm
get a
guessing
prenup?
not, but who knows?
Guys, get your prenup, okay? And ladies, don't be mad when he wants a prenup, okay? It's just the society that we live in because the dude becomes a criminal if you break up with him. We need to have these prenups. I'm sorry, ladies, but we didn't make the rules. We're just trying to survive them.
Well said.
Right.
No, it was a blast. It was a good time.
That's what kind of beer was served?
We had a lot of good beer.
Oh, that was a ton of beer.
Dogfish
60 minute.
Head. Yeah.
What was the one you were drinking, Alex?
It was Monument City. It's the Baltimore brewed. Like, I've never had anything bad that they've brewed. Like, everything they brew is on point.
Yeah.
And it kind of, and they do, like, it was a Pilsner. And I don't really do Pilsners too often, but that was pretty good. It's pretty solid. But
Yeah, they had
do it.
Open bar, all kinds of different liquors. Like I had like 2 old fashions. I think that's what really did me in. The guy made them pretty. I think he put at least like 3 or 4 shots in there.
Righteous.
Yeah,
so-
we were at a table right by the dance floor, so
Yeah.
we were like the only ones dancing. Well, our
Yeah, we started the
others.
dancing. Yeah. It was
and
us.
Yeah, significant others.
We were like on
Was
the
it
other
like-
side of this, like they had this curtain that all of the other tables were in front of, and then we were like the one table sticking out behind it. So like,
Yeah.
it definitely looked like we were just like, all right, put them back there.
Put the kids,
How
put
was the
the kids
moshing?
back here.
How was
was
the
the moshing?
moshing? Did you guys get to
There's-
beat up on people with masks? How did that go?
No. Surprisingly not. There was no moshing music last night.
There were
Just-
no
just good
masks.
old-
There were no masks
Did they make-
aside from
Wait.
the help.
Yeah, did the help have to wear masks like an AOC event?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It sucked. for them,
Yeah.
but what are you gonna do?
That is,
Yeah, I
tell them
mentioned it-
no masks.
I'm-
Like
I mean, it wasn't my wedding.
I mean, I mentioned
Right.
it to Kyle's groomsmen about it, and I was like, "Yeah, man, like this kind of fucked up, man. It's not a good look because it's like, oh, the help has to have masks, but not a single mask in the entire. Maybe like 1 or 2 sprinkled in here and there, but everybody that attended the wedding for the most part, not a mask in sight. Maybe a couple here and there, but overall." And they said like I guess maybe it was like the owner like kind of being very COVID-y.
Well, it was in Baltimore
and it's also
City.
That's true too. It's also in the city. It's like right. It was like right on the line.
Yeah, I'm
so-
actually surprised they
right.
allowed.
So there's a higher level of communism you have to account
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Well, they're fucking the mayor, King Scott here. He's back. He went back to mandating mass indoors a couple weeks ago, at establishments. And it's like, fuck this, it's good to see. Oh, and also, masks just to get in bars and restaurants. Like,
can you believe they're still trying to do masks after you've got
Well, look,
years
man,
of data now that show masks are completely ridiculous and
Right?
useless. And like all the experts say it. You even read on the mask box, it says, won't help you from COVID. Like everybody is and unanimously agrees that masks have virtually no purpose whatsoever, and yet it's still part of their religion now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane because it's like, wait, all the workers, you're forcing all your workers, but do you see this here? Not a single person in the wedding, for the most part, is not dealing with this shit anymore. Stop it. And I couldn't imagine working hard, working a wedding, bartending, bussing tables, waiting on tables, wearing a fucking mask all goddamn.
Well, do you think anybody of these, I mean, maybe they're genuinely scared and they want to wear masks. Now that's theoretically possible because there are a lot of people that are scared, but I'm kind of guessing like their boss told them they had to.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. It definitely is. And it's because it's in
you
the
see,
city.
I mean, when you see them like hanging out back or behind the kitchen, you'll see if they really want a mask on or not. Like, did they? If you see them all take them off when they're out of the party room, then you'll know.
But
there's no way I would. How could you have that? In your staff. I guess it's difficult to do a wedding, obviously, and you don't get a lot of say in a lot of things. But and it's hard enough to find a caterer, and the hall might only let you use one or two different caterers, and but
yeah, it's. I
mean,
nah. I mean, it's hard. It's tough enough. I couldn't just trying to plan a wedding in these times. Like, fuck, all this. Goofy
Tell me about it.
Jared, you know about it. God, fucking, it's already stressful to begin with, and then you got
Jared, do you have a date set for yours?
I do.
What, you don't have to release it here, but what's your mask policy going to be for the help? Is it going to be AOC style?
They're gonna have to wear gas masks, dude. I'm not fucking around.
Yeah, full hazmat.
Not because of COVID, just because
of those dirty workers, right? And
just to freak out the guest.
Yeah, just to get everybody a little bit on edge,
Like what?
I think now you're really doing something there. Yeah,
exactly. Where did Phil go?
Oh, I don't know, but it was a great time. It was a great wedding. It was good times. We had a blast. It was a nice little Sunday, and Kyle had a great time.
Where's he going for his honeymoon?
Cool. I don't know. I didn't. You know what? I forgot to ask.
I think he said St. Lucia sometime in the next few months. They're gonna go ahead down there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh man, it was fun. There was we actually started the dancing because we were the closest to the bar. I mean, it was a perfectly placed table for what we wanted to do. So it was pretty much just.
We're also the loudest table, so it was good that we were not anywhere near where they're giving the speeches.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when we say we, I don't think it was we as in the people in this right here in this little four square.
It wasn't the males. Let's just say that.
It wasn't the men that were the loud ones.
Significant others.
Yeah, it might have been a few of significant others that were very loud and rowdy and belligerent. No, it was belligerent.
They were a little sauced up during the cocktail hour.
Dude, oh yeah. Well, the
cocktail hour was an hour long.
Yeah, it was
it was 2 hours. It was closer to 2 hours.
It was closer to 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, but hey, I had 12 beers. I'm pretty sure I had 12.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, I was double fisting them, and I went back at least 5 or 6 times. So.
Well, open bar, right? I mean,
yeah.
Kyle's paying,
right? He's not paying by the drink either.
And champagne. Yes, I was also going after champagne, which is great. And
I hope Kyle invites me to his next wedding. That sounds like a blast.
I'll make sure you get the invite. Yeah. Oh, it was cool. And then Matt Bergman was there. And so everyone who's been with the podcast for a while knows his sense of humor. He went up to Kyle, and Kyle's brother was the best man. He asked them, he said, "Are you guys a bunch of tri-lambs?" From Revenge of the Nerds. Lambda.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah,
that's that. Exactly. That's
the Nerds humor. I'm like,
yes.
Really gotta dig for that one.
I was like, Matt, that's a deep dad dive there.
Yep.
Deep dad joke dive. Yeah, but
It was
Well, I'm
fun.
glad to see Matt still has it. Cheers, Matt.
Yes. Well, yeah, man. How long did you guys stay? Because we left because my wife had to be up for school at like 6:30 in the morning or something like that.
It was probably a little after 10.
I think we
You
hung
guys
out
left
for maybe like a half hour more than you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
But-
man. It was. Oh man, it was such a sketch ride going back through the city. Because coming through Southwest Baltimore was not. It was pretty rough.
Oh,
It was-
geez, yeah.
yeah. And the Uber driver kept missing turns, so he kept
Oh,
having to go
no.
like back alleys and shit. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna die. And it was intense, but we got home. We got home around like it only took us like half hour to get home. So fortunately, his missed turns didn't take us off our ETA. But man, it was. I had a lot. I didn't realize it's you sit down and you stop, like you're like, oh god, I had a lot to drink.
Yeah.
I realized this morning for sure.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
important
so
thing, as long as you don't like puke at the event, I think you're good. You know,
I didn't puke, but didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Didn't sleep that well. Was also drinking coffee at like 10 p.m. too. Just
Oh
to-
yeah. Oh, you went for the coffee afterwards. That's
Oh yeah,
right.
dude. I was like, yeah, this will be good.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm putting back some of these Oktoberfest. I haven't drank Oktoberfest in such a long time, but I just drank the Spaten Oktoberfest.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, those
Now
are
I-
good.
Yeah, and now I got the Yingling Oktoberfest.
Ooh, I was
Wow.
thinking about trying that the other day. How's that?
It's pretty good. Tastes like a Yingling.
ooh,
Alright.
So not good.
I mean, yeah.
ah,
It's a Pennsylvania Miller Lite, okay? Leave it alone.
ugh.
But it's a lager though. That's the thing.
Right.
I don't like lagers.
It's like spring water up there in Pennsylvania.
It's got to be a really good lager for me to like it.
Is it a Marzen style? It's classic Marzen style.
Moderson.
Marzen. I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't do the pronunciation on that.
I had
Yeah.
that.
But
I had that
I'm not-
Union
I'm not
Craft.
drinking today.
I had that Union Craft Fest beer, October Fest style lager. It was pretty good. Those were pretty crushable.
Speaking of Oktoberfest, there's a Mises Caucus Oktoberfest party coming up. Is that?
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Babs, you should come down for that.
Right on.
Yeah, Friday, October 22nd, right, Otto?
22nd.
At the
Right here,
old-
north of Baltimore. Well, I'm keeping the details private on that because
Yeah, we don't want the
Oh,
haterades. We don't want.
Oh no, we want them to. No, they're invited too. Come on, man, make
Ah.
it like open it up.
no, but
Nah.
I don't want them. I don't want.
Are
them
you selling
calling the
tickets or
restaurant.
is it just show up and
No,
hang?
show up. You just
Yeah.
if you guys want to come, you can find Otto on Twitter or on Facebook, and I'll send you the official invite.
If you
Was
want
it going to be? Is it going to be another Mises Caucus super spreader event? Or
Could be.
so
could be.
if you're looking for natural immunity,
this
this
is
could
where
be
you go.
your opportunity.
It's
Right.
like it's like the measles parties that the
Right.
Orthodox do.
Yeah, where you
right.
can, but instead you exchange fluids with
Yeah,
Mises
good-
Caucus members.
get that natural immunity booster.
Mm.
You know, get that.
Wow. I'm sure all of our listeners enjoy that sound effect.
Right, I know.
Sorry.
I'm sure they're grateful.
Yeah, but I just don't want people calling the restaurant ahead of time and then doing that bit where they're like, "There are a bunch of Nazis coming to
Oh,
your
yeah.
establishment."
These
So
are a bunch of-
Oh yeah, they do that.
So they would
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
they wouldn't show up. You think any of these fucking losers would show up who don't like us? No, they would
Of course
not.
not.
They would not.
You're
show
right.
up.
Yeah,
They would just call ahead of time. So I'm just keeping it.
they would
close
just
to
threaten
that.
not to come.
Yeah, we're just
Or
going to a
like-
restaurant. I just like to keep the name of the restaurant. You
Yeah,
know,
or
unless
these,
you're- I know you, and so
Yeah,
if you want to
so get in
come,
touch.
come.
Some
it's gonna be
like
cool. It's
underground
Friday
stuff.
night.
Yeah.
Friday night. It's literally just come and just drink, and we may have a speaker or two, or I don't know, trying to get. Apparently, all of Delaware is showing up to this.
Yeah.
Both of
I
them.
just talked to both. There's like 13 people from Delaware coming, and I'm like, that's probably more people from Maryland who are coming. So I got to make an official headcount. But yeah, that's like what, about a month away. So anyone who's
Yep.
wants to drive to Baltimore for the Mises Caucus Oktoberfest, just hit me up.
Oh,
and
this is
I'll
not.
send you an invite.
It's not far from me.
No,
Yeah.
Say that
Whoa. From Jared's underground
from
undisclosed
my
location.
underground bunker.
undisclosed location. It's right. It's where Biden. It's right next to where Biden was hiding during the campaign season.
It's literally like 10 minutes from me. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. October 22nd. Mark your calendar.
October 22nd.
This should be fun. Yeah, man. There's gonna be lots. Oh man, lots of good events coming up too. We got the Mises Caucus event coming up on Saturday in Virginia. We down there for that. Me and Alex will definitely be there. Tom Woods is gonna be there, and unfortunately, Scott Horton's not gonna be there because he's still debating Bill Kristol, which is awesome.
He's still
when is
debating
that?
him
Really?
like right
When?
now.
When?
Next week. I think it's next week.
Oh,
In New York?
The debate's
Yep,
still
in New
going on. Scott's
like
still
still? This is like
Wait a minute. I bought tickets for the original. I might have tickets for that.
You do have tickets.
You
The
do.
tickets are still you have to show a proof of a negative COVID test or your vaccine pass to get in.
I've got a proof of a negative attitude.
He's got a negative herpes test.
Wait, I don't.
Well, okay, I guess I won't be going to that. But I'm glad the event is still taking place, regardless. I mean, let's face it, I was shocked when I even heard that debate was agreed to, and I'm like, oh, he's got to cancel. His friends
Right.
are going to let him know, like, dude, you're going to get your ass handed to you. Like, somebody must have clued him in by now. But people like him are so arrogant. They think that they can handle it. They think that they're untouchable because nobody ever asks them hard questions their whole careers.
Yeah, it should be fun.
I hope
I'm
it's a
not gonna be there,
bloodbath.
but
I mean,
I'll probably listen to it afterwards.
I hope so. Scott was originally going to come to the Mises event, but he was like, it's too much travel for him to do in like a 1 week span, coming all the way from Texas to Virginia, then going back to Texas, and then going all to New York, and then back to Texas.
So who did you say is going?
Maj will be there.
Maj is going to be there. Dan McAdams is actually taking his spot for foreign policy, so that's cool. I
Wait,
get to hang out
this
with Dan
isn't the
McAdams.
Oktoberfest, is it? This is something else.
I wish it was
No.
the October. No, this is the Mises event. This is the Mises event that's happening in the Take Human Action Bash, which is happening in Fairfax, Virginia.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
trying to do it's near George Mason University. I guess that's
Oh,
originally where they originally wanted to do it, kind of do some like college outreach, but the COVID shut that down. So it's nearby. It's at a hotel convention center nearby. But yeah,
I'm just driving down. I'll drive back that night, I guess.
Yeah,
I still need to get tickets to the after party. There's like a huge after party, but I don't have tickets for that.
yeah.
So.
It's I think is Dave still doing it? Dave Smith was going to do stand up, but
No.
because I guess
Dave-
his wife's about to.
Yeah, so so he's not going to be there. So a bunch of people dropped off of this thing, but it's still going to be pretty cool because I think Tom Woods is going to be there, Dan
Probably the-
McAdams, Maj Trey,
Could be some
forget
good
it.
comedy after Adam Nutter.
Adam
and,
Nutter. Yeah,
Robbie
we've
the
had him on the
Fire.
podcast before. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be good after just regardless. Just to,
Yeah.
You know.
So that's going to be fun. We got that coming up. And there's so many events and shit that we're doing.
Is Rob
And,
Schneider going to be there?
that'd be awesome.
I don't know.
If you maybe if you
let's
get together 15 grand.
Yeah, guys, I have.
What?
What? Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. He
oh,
has.
He
has.
Oh
wow,
no!
we're on the edge of our seat. And it's like,
What
oh,
do you
you might
have?
have
Otto?
extra drama.
Does
And
he
like,
have-
nope.
Oh God!
What does he? What do you have?
All your screens went black. I'm like, oh shit.
The anticipation.
Wait, so you got cut off when you said I have, and then that was it.
I have the information of someone who was booking Rob Schneider for events. And I was like, oh, how much can it for a podcast? Like, shit, we got money. We got Patreon. We'll just dip into that. And we're like, drop, a few $100. And they got back to me like, yeah, $10,000. So I was like, oh,
Damn.
sorry.
I thought.
But she thinks she might accept like way less than that for a podcast. I was like, okay, cool.
But who are you talking about?
Rob Schneider, comedian.
10,000 for a podcast?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Just a little bit out of price. See, if they
We've
was
also like
900,
never paid. I mean, we've never paid a single guest
Yeah,
for an
right.
appearance. I mean, we've driven them from the airport or paid for their like taxi cat or their Uber ride to get here. But like
Yeah.
Right.
we've never been like, oh, here's like $1,000 to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
Right.
or
And we
help
did
support-
provide a beard fluffer for Vermin Supreme. I think that
Yeah.
was in the budget. But
Yeah. It was in the
Right,
contract.
exactly.
It was in the
Yeah.
contract, and
But this is not pay to play. This is not pay to play over here. This
Yeah.
is
So that was
the PRL podcast.
so
Yeah.
there. Who knows? We might crowdfund. So if you guys want to give up $15 $10,000, please, by all means, send it over to us.
Yeah. If you want to
you
be the
want
wealthy fed benefactor of the PRL
Yeah.
podcast, just send us 10K in unmarked, non-sequential dollar bills.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy. So what do we got going tonight? I don't know. I've been so unplugged because I was in Jersey the past few days, up until
sorry to hear
Saturday
that.
afternoon. No, it was amazing.
It's now a biosecurity post-apocalyptic hellscape out there.
No, not where I was. I was at the
Beach is
Jersey
nice.
Shore.
Not on the beach though.
I was at the Jersey Shore.
Back here in
Nah.
civilization, it's become a utopian nightmare. I mean, a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah. So I was there for 4 days, and I mean, nobody gave a fuck. There's all these there's like 100 of these small shops that are like so tiny, and I thought for sure they'd all have mask mandates. They're like, nope, they don't care at all. There was no one gave one shit about COVID, and it was awesome. I was so happy to be like, because I was,
Oh no, you were
The
Still don't know
internet.
how he was.
being
The
able to go
feds-
out.
again.
the
Am I,
feds are-
am I dropping out again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God
Well, what
damn it.
kind of apps are you running? Like you're running too many
None.
apps on your.
I'm not
Right.
running any apps. It's my kids are probably watching TV still on their upstairs.
You need a kill.
before
You
they
need
go
a
to
kill
bed.
switch on their entertainment center up there, so you could just like flip it, and like I don't know, kids.
Yeah, then you just hear a bunch of kids running down here like, "What did you do? What did you do?"
That's why you
That
lock
would
the
be fun.
door.
I don't have a door. I'm in stupid.
That's why you build a door and then you lock it.
Hey, I just got my Starlink dish delivered.
Nah, for
Right.
real?
Yeah, I haven't
Wow.
installed it yet.
Ooh.
That's Elon's thing?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm now like that dude who says shit about Bitcoin who needs to shut his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, SpaceX.
Whoa. So what do you have to like put it on your roof or like an antenna or just a
I'm gonna try to
bracket?
make I'm gonna try to make a semi-mobile like stand for it. So you're not supposed to travel with it, but you can kind of get away with it. So I'm gonna see. You have to kind of like ask, like, can I change my address to this location? And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Do they have them?
They don't have to like calibrate. They don't have to like, because I know like with at least the older, direct TV satellites and stuff, like they had to like, the technicians have to come over and they have to like point it at the exact particular place to get
that's-
the,
yeah, that's definitely not the case because it's that was for geosynchronous satellites, which remain like fixed in the sky.
yeah.
Right. So that's why you had to have a big dish and pointed directly at it.
Yeah.
And the dish and the satellite's really far away. So you had terrible latency. With Elon's thing, he's got, I think he's got like 1,800 or more satellites up there already. It's going to be thousands low Earth orbit whizzing past, and you connect to one, then you connect
Below
to
the
the next,
firmament.
then you connect to the next, and it. Anyway,
Yeah. That sounds cool. How much
yeah,
is it? How
it's-
much does it cost?
I think the dish was like $400 or $500, and
But how much is
it
the
uses.
service?
I think it's $100 a month.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I kind of let you know how it goes. But I'm optimistic. Never hurts to have some communications that could work in wilderness situations or off grid situations, broadband.
Yeah. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, keep us updated on that one.
But why does Elon have to be? He's so brilliant, but yet so stupid on other. When it comes to Bitcoin. So
I think he's still pro Bitcoin. He just took a trip down Doge lane and went a little haywire.
well, he's smart enough to understand that energy FUD was a bunch of like propaganda. Right.
Well,
from,
yeah,
from the,
but
from
his
the
whole-
Elizabeth Warren types. He didn't have to get on board with that. He's smart enough to figure
Yeah,
it out.
but his whole business is based on that propaganda. I mean, his whole business is like, let's sell you an energy efficient car that also takes like a ton of energy to create and like
Right. And give me my carbon credits, bitch.
right.
Right.
So he's he's a grifter, but he also does some like dope shit like that. So
Yeah.
people are complex. What are you gonna do?
Well, I caved in and I'm going to, I figured, yeah, he's a grifter, but my other communication options are AT&T,
Right.
Verizon. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all scumbags as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Right.
I'm like, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw an ad today. It was for some bullshit that like Verizon, and they're trying to play off this pandemic and the economic ramifications of the pandemic. And it was promoted on, I'm like, why is this shit popping up in my Twitter feed? But it was a Good Morning America promo. And there was some concert with like around like 24/7 or a 24-hour concert around the world and different performances to raise money to create equity among school children, because the poor children couldn't get 1 out of 4 kids doesn't have access to internet. So here at Verizon, like it was a sponsored ad by Verizon. It was just like, what the fuck? Like sprinkling in like the COVID and teachers and education and just
1 in 4 children can't receive our programming.
right.
This is a crisis.
So, thank you.
Yes.
There we
So to
go.
have-
Thanks,
so to
Jared.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jared. Okay.
We had some actual Nazi popping up in the YouTube chat.
No,
Oh,
that was
really?
a troll. That was a troll account. You don't have the name Kill All Jays 666. You know, that's his name.
Well, he's gone now.
Yeah,
He gone.
He's went bye-bye.
We've made it a safe space again.
That's me. My safe.
You know what's
It's
bullshit?
cool that I
though?
can block people from this fucking app, though. That's cool. From StreamYard.
So you know what's bullshit? I'm just scrolling through it, and I've been seeing these highlights of the big punk fest out in Vegas this last weekend. It was called Punk Rock Bowling, and you couldn't get in unless you'd prove like you had a vax, whatever. And I mean, you should see it. There's literally like a pool. People like mosh in this pool, and it's like hundreds of people in this one pool, and everyone's all over each other. There's no mask. Like what? It's just like I'm so fucking annoyed. And none of the bands are wearing masks. None of the performers are wearing masks. It's just like, what the fuck? I couldn't
you're in
get
the
in.
pool- so if
I'm
you're-
the run who's causing problems.
So if you're
Well,
in the pool, you don't have to wear a mask, but if you're out of the pool, you put on the mask. Is that the deal?
It's
No,
it's science.
no, you don't have to wear any mask at all if you're proof of vaccine at this resort for this for punk rock bowling. Because it's like mostly an
Okay,
outside
isn't that
show.
good? Aren't we good? Aren't we glad about that?
Yes, but you had to prove that you're vaccinated to get in. But I mean, so you're telling me that there's not?
Well, hey, I mean,
it's not a super spreader event.
No. The
well, I mean,
vaccine
hey,
works.
at least in that scenario, it's not like, okay, you have to be vaccinated and you have to wear a mask. Like that's just doubly
Yeah,
retarded.
well, if it's inside, you do in Vegas, but this is all outside stuff,
Oh,
which is stupid.
so
But
wait,
it's like
in the
so-
casinos, you have to wear a mask now?
No, for like a big events in Vegas, in
yeah.
all of Nevada. But I'm
You
just saying,
can-
people are like on top of each other. You just look up,
Yeah.
just Google punk rock bowling and look at the pictures
Well,
and
I mean,
videos from this
if
past
the
week.
vaccine's actually doing its thing, then that should be okay, right? It just goes
Well-
against all the other propaganda that they're putting out there.
This
Yeah,
might be a
right.
good time to play that video where that smart doctor lady gives important advice on how to protect
Oh,
yourself
right.
from COVID.
Yeah, let's play
Right?
that.
Maybe we need to, because this is kind of over my head. I think we need to consult an expert that can break it down for us to really let us know, like who should be wearing masks, who's vaccinated. And I thought this was pretty interesting. So let's see if we have that.
Let me get that puppy rolling here.
What was the name of that doctor?
So Leanna Wen, and we'll talk about her a little bit later because, well, soon after,
After
this,
we play the
'cause
video.
she's been around for a while.
All right.
She's definitely she's
So this is
definitely
I'm borrowing this from the Ron Paul Liberty Report. Just
She's
FYI.
from Baltimore.
Thanks, Dr. Paul.
but yeah,
And those who are vaccinated, we now know based on the CDC, they are now able, but with the Delta variant, because they carry so much more virus, they could transmit it to their unvaccinated family members. And so I, for example, even though I'm fully vaccinated, my children are not because they're too young to be vaccinated. So I need to be now careful for my children because of all the unvaccinated people around us. And
Like
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, huh?
that
Does
makes
everybody got that?
no
Yeah.
sense.
So she's saying if yeah, I can't even like go back over that.
She's saying that vaccinated people have a higher viral load and therefore might be a bigger risk to the unvaccinated, such as her children. So more people need to be vaccinated so but yet there'll be more of a danger to the unvaccinated if you're vaccinated. I don't know.
We're just not smart enough to get it. That's what it is.
I mean, there was an article just 2 days ago. Pete Quinones put it up. I believe it was in the it was a British newspaper. The article read 1/3 hospitalizations are from the hospitalizations of COVID are from the unvaccinated. So that's like the, oh my God. But what you're saying is what about the other 2/3 that are vaccinated? So they're in the hospital. That's more. And they're vaccinated. Like, what the fuck? Like, nothing makes sense
just
anymore.
It's just like that article that came out a few years ago where it was talking about how like the crisis of women and homelessness, and it said, "Did you know 1 in 4 homeless people are women?" And I'm like, well, wait a minute. So that means 3 out of 4 people are homeless are men,
right? What are we doing about the men?
Obviously, this is a woman's crisis here.
Right.
Yeah, especially when women make up like more than 50% of the population, right? So that seems like pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Fucking clown world, dude. I
Seriously.
can't.
It's like
So this whole
it just blatantly goes to show like they're just gonna put out these headlines. Like they don't know math, fractions, percents. They're not gonna be able to figure this shit out. Numbers, critical
Nobody
thinking.
cares.
Put this shit out.
They made sure they got control of government schools. So they're like, okay, make sure nobody can do fractions, make sure nobody knows probability, make sure nobody knows biology, make sure people can't read, and then we'll just put some experts on TV and tell them what to believe. It's like out of the dark ages where the priests will tell you what's in the Bible. You don't need to worry your little heads about that. We'll tell you what's in the Bible, and it says that we're allowed to do this to your kids. Or whatever,
Right.
So many of these people aren't part of a cult. It's just, but yeah, this doctor. So, apparently she resides in Baltimore. So it'd be a shame if her address would just appeared randomly. But so she used to work for the Planned Parenthood. She was apparently fired. I don't know what that background was, but I was listening to a podcast today, and they showed this clip. And it's like, holy shit. She was on CNN during like the Boston Marathon bombing and was being interviewed by Jake Tapper. And she's constantly out on CNN just pushing this fucking cult of COVIDs on CNN. And this video clip, so Boston Marathon, that was, 2014? Mm-hmm. So she apparently in this video clip was interviewed. And for the listeners won't be able to see this, but Jared pointed out, like, it looks like this is filmed in front of a green screen.
Absolutely, yeah.
It looks like,
does.
Or like that.
She sounds like an actor. She sounds like an actor on a show giving like some type of canned response, but it's supposed to be like live reaction. It sounds so phony. Everything about it sounds fake. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something phony about.
Let's try to listen to it a little bit, see what it sounds like.
Joining me now is Dr. Lena Wen. She's an emergency room physician who was working at Massachusetts.
Yeah, it looks like she's like in front of a green screen.
She also works at Brigham and Women's Hospital. So you were at Massachusetts General Monday. What happened?
Oh, it was a horrific day. We had no idea what was coming. It was 3:00 and we heard that there were 2 explosions, but we didn't know where. We had no idea how many people were coming to us.
How many people came?
It seemed like dozens, and it was probably nearly 3 dozen patients in 2 hours or so.
And was the hospital ready for it? I've heard from Dr. Walls from the other Brigham and Women's Hospital that because of all the drills the hospitals here have been running since 9/11, you were unbelievably prepared.
Technically and medically, we were ready. We had done drills. We knew
definitely
what to do
sounds
with
scripted,
each
doesn't it?
individual patient who came in.
Like
But
these are the questions you're to ask, and this is how
it also sounds like
it.
They're trying to justify the Homeland Security Agency. Right?
Oh yeah,
and like we've been drilling, we've been so prepared since 9/11. Like we were perfectly prepared for this.
And like,
were you surprised about what a wonderful job we're doing?
I mean, this is supposedly out on the street within a couple days after this happened, and this is such a tragedy. And she's just calmly like, oh yeah, like I was just in triage, like helping out these poor people that got their limbs blown off and shrapnel everywhere and bleeding out. And oh, it's and then to
Well,
be that
you know what,
calm and collective
rehearsing
and scripted.
rehearsing talking points is not necessarily a sign of, like criminal behavior or whatnot. So, I mean, she's definitely got rehearsed statements or things, but why all the stroking? Yeah, why all the stroking about being prepared? Maybe, do you want to hear more of that? That is kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, I can put it back on.
Unless you're bored with that, I don't care.
We can listen to a few more seconds, like 30 more seconds of that, and see how much of a script it sounds like.
It just makes you wonder, like, who the fuck do you work for? And I mean, she's apparently a Chinese.
Who do you work for?
Came over when she was 13. Her husband's from South Africa. She lived overseas. She's graduated from all these I forget what Ivy League school just like a fast tracker. And it's like, who do you work for? Like this.
We had no idea what was coming. It was 3 o'clock, and we heard that there were 2 explosions.
11, you were unbelievably prepared.
Technically and medically, we were ready. We had done drills. We knew what to do with each individual patient who came in.
We had scripts
but
written,
I've never seen trauma
makeup
like
prepared.
This before. The volume and the nature of the trauma was really chilling and really shocking.
And on a personal note, you hadn't yet heard from your husband while this was all going on.
Listen to this.
You hear a cell phone ring.
Listen to this.
You reach into your pocket, but it wasn't your cell phone ringing.
Yeah, so we actually live just a block away from here, from Copley Square. And my husband had told me that he was coming to watch at the finish line. And then we heard that the explosions happened. So while I was with patients, I had no idea whether the next patient was going to be my husband.
Oh my God.
I mean, I really thought, because there was soot and blood everywhere, I thought there was a good chance that
there was what in blood?
I'd be seeing on the stretcher
Soot and
would turn
blood.
out to be my husband.
Soot and blood.
But he was
That's the name of the podcast.
Soot
and blood.
Yeah, it's my name, my grindcore band.
Soot
and blood.
He ended up being unharmed.
Yeah.
Dude, she's a fucking crisis actor. She works for somebody. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, she
works for FEMA. She works for FEMA.
Right. I mean, just keep the money flowing into all these fucking agencies. Go out here, read this bullshit. You're going to make a lot of Pfizer money with this is why we need a booster. Oh, well, even though I'm vaccinated, the viral load from the Delta variant, even though I'm vaccinated, it's so bad. I could infect my kids. So we got to vax kids. We got to get boosters. Like, and then in that video, she's like promoting FEMA and all these Homeland Security and all this big government post 9/11 terror fucking apparatus and more money into the hospital.
Right. And like with a script that was obviously written with CNN, for CNN, whoever it's like this.
Come on. Like, and then, but you try to explain this to people, and it's like my idiot fantasy football friends, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking COVID-idiot. And he's not listening. And if he does, dude, I'm done after this year. I can't associate people that come dude, we're on different levels. And if I just try to dude, he doesn't want to hear anything. And he's like, so unfortunately, some guy in our league, I don't really know him that well, but apparently his best friend this week has succumbed to COVID. Okay. I don't fucking know him. I've never met him. But he's like all this virtue signaling in our entire fantasy football league because thoughts and prayers. Sorry to hear that. And he was all like, hey, my friend from college is in rough shape. He's been battling it for a week or a month now. He's in the hospital. He's on a ventilator. He's probably going to go into organ failure over the weekend. He's probably going to die. PSA to the league, get vaxxed. And it's like, they're always taking shots at
P.S. Don't take horse dewormer.
Tell him. No. So you're bearing the lead. What was his request to you?
Get vaxxed.
No.
Right. So the whole
the best
thing
part.
Is,
you're bearing it.
The whole time this season, because I'm dealing with COVID-idiots, every week I change my team name. So for week 1, I was team horse dewormer. Or ivermectin. Week two, I was team control group. This week, right before we got news in the group chat that his best friend, apparently died with or who knows. We don't know. I'm sorry.
He was a perfectly
I'm
healthy
sorry.
500-pound man.
500-pound man who had diabetes. And
What was your name? Tell everyone what your name was before.
So before this tragedy struck our league, my team name was Team Herd Immunity. So this dude, so our commissioner in our league, who's the biggest fucking COVIDiot, sends me this text, and he's like, sends me this mean mug text at like midnight on Saturday. So I'm a couple beers deep, and he's probably a bunch of beers deep. And it's all
here we go.
All in his fucking feels. All in his fucking feels. And he's like, hey, now's the time to change your fucking team name because Dab's friend's in the fucking hospital and might die because of COVID. And I was like, dude, bro, the last conversation I've had with you was about a month ago, whether you wanted to make a bullshit trade with me in this fantasy football league. Dude, you used to live in my house. I introduced you to your wife. If you weren't such a fucking pussy, you would have never fucking ever talked to her and never had the balls. So whatever, and this fucking asshole has the balls to text me and fucking come at me. So I was like, he's like, you better change your fucking team name. And I'm like, dude, first off, a little fucking out of line, okay? At least if you're pissed, call me, but you're fucking passive aggressive with your fucking text. So yeah, he was like, and I was like, I will not cave to the mob. And I was like, I'm not gonna cave to the mob. I'm sorry about his friend, but I'm fucking done talking about your virtue signaling, projection, COVID fucking shit. Like, I didn't say all that, but I was just like, dude, I'm tired of talking about COVID. I will not change my name. And he was just like, comes back and he was just like, oh yeah, dick move, real class act. And I'm like, dude, it's a fucking team name on ESPN. If this dude is triggered by that, I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck? These people.
I can't wait to see what your next team name is, though. The way you've been on this, like he wants a name change. Okay, like, I can't wait to see what's next.
This all stems back from like the fact that months ago they were like, "Well, we're not going to have a draft unless everybody's vaxxed," and everybody.
What?
Yeah, or anybody who's vaxxed can show. I'm like, dude, fuck you, guys. Like half these guys I've known since like childhood. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Or have known them for years, and they're like. Not all of them, but they're caving to this shit.
Somebody wants to segregate fantasy football along backs lines. Really?
And that's the thing. He's the lead of it, and everybody's fucking following him. And I'm the only one like clapping back, like saying, like, dude, like, are you fucking out of your mind? Do you hear yourself right now? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Especially
sometimes you got to be that only one because I know you're like other people really like. Somebody will think about it, right? Like not everybody, everybody will go along with it until they have a reason not to. But sometimes it's just too much to just sit there and take the crap.
Yeah,
like
when it's
that stuff.
And just...
Yeah, like that stuff with the vote on the Israeli military thing. I don't know what it was. The dome. What was
Iron
that?
Yarmulke. The Iron Yarmulke.
The Iron Yarmulke, right? Somebody I know was trying to shame the people that voted against that in the U.S. Congress, right? They were like, these are the people. These are those horrible, horrible people, and I was like, hey, I'm like, I don't know. I guess my comment was something like, like, I don't think we should have to pay for that, or something like that. And this totally triggered her, right? She's like, well, we know how you feel about Israel, and please don't post on my Facebook and like,
oh God.
So it's like, no, I said, look,
how are you friends with these people, Babs? How is this even possible at this point?
I said it's not. I didn't say anything about Israel, and if they want to enslave their own for war, that's their business. But kindly leave me out of it, right?
Yeah.
That didn't go over well either. Comment, deleted. Friend deleted. Like,
no, that's why you got to vote present with some of these people. You can't.
So wait, did it pass or did it not pass?
Oh, I think it did, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it was part of. I think it's part of the NDAA that they, vote.
It
on
always
every
passes
fucking year, and it's part of the funding.
Name one thing they wanted funded that never passed. Like eventually it passes, right? Like,
so wait, what was the thing with AOC in this?
So so Thomas Massey was like the lone Republican congressman to vote no. A couple Democrats voted no, but I guess originally AOC was going to vote no, she was going to vote no, but she wanted to vote yes, or she wanted to vote yes, but Pelosi was like, no, you have to vote, or no. She wanted to vote no. Pelosi, Pelosi
She wanted to vote against it, but Pelosi told her that if she did,
you got to vote yes.
You know,
so
she would lose her
yeah.
funding or whatever from the Illuminati.
Yeah,
so
for APAC.
He was contacted by Redacted.
So
you're from New York. This isn't going to bode well in your communities in New York. Like, you got to secure that APAC.
You're not going to sell any more of those tax the rich T-shirts on your website.
Right. So she was threatened. So she was brave enough to vote president, and then
she voted president, which is basically like a non-vote, right?
Yeah, like, hey, I showed up for work today. I didn't do shit, but I'm here. What the fuck?
It's like me going to work and being like, so are you gonna do your job then? I'm like, present. I'm here, present. But I'm gonna go now.
How do you think this played back at the squad meeting? Right, when all the girls got together and be like, okay, how did the other squad? Who else is in the squad anyway? And how did they vote?
Yeah, how did that isn't there like a Palestinian chick or whatever in there?
Omar.
She voted against it. I'm pretty sure. I think she was.
There were like 14 Democrats that were.
When she starts voting for Israeli, arming the Israeli government, like. She's been compromised.
Yeah, she's voted in.
Eventually, they're like, well, I need to get reelected if I'm going to do these wonderful things that I have to want to do. So I might as well just go along for now. And then later, I'll regain my principles and then I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah, that's how it worked out for Rand Paul, right?
Exactly. Look at at now. He's gonna be like surprising them with libertarianism any moment now.
Yeah. Right.
This career of statism was just a ruse to get him deep into the system.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's been like going against Fauci and keeping that fucking narrative going.
Well, I mean, there's some rhetoric. There's some rhetoric, but is Fauci up on charges?
No, not yet.
Does a Senate have any power to get some kind of, criminal probe? I mean, I wish Kyle was here.
Right.
I don't know how government works.
Let's go contact him on his honeymoon and see if he can inform us.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. I mean, to your point, Babs. Yeah. Like what's come of it? I mean, Fauci's fallen forward and failed upwards like his whole career. It's been wrong so many times, and he's somehow still the highest paid bureaucrat. He makes like almost $1 million a year just spouting bullshit. I mean, you could just go through the video clips in the past month where he's just fucking flip flopping and just contradicting and
he's still treated like some kind of royalty. And I don't understand, because Epstein's Island has been closed for a long time now. How are they still manipulating people?
Exactly. Yeah. Bill Gates was just interviewed too. He was like, I just heard it was an interview on PBS, and they brought up Epstein because I guess all this is coming out.
I think that was like 2 years ago. That's an old one.
Well,
was this the clip that was going around?
Yeah.
Right. Oh God,
was that where she asked him, was there a lesson to be learned?
Mm-hmm.
And he and Bill goes, "Oh, the lesson? Well, he's dead." There's your lesson. Who's going to come up against me next? Right? I swear to God, that's the way it sounded.
Yeah. But then it kind of was and then he was backtracking, he backtracked, and you could, and he was there was definitely a backtracking, he realized oh shit, oh fuck,
I said that out loud.
I said that out loud. I mean, he is. Well, Epstein might be dead. I don't know, but the fact he blurted it's whoa, you just said it. Come at.
That's the lesson. The lesson is he's dead.
Right.
Ooh.
It's we send vaccines to third world countries and have a body count already. These people are fucking evil. They're just on top. They're to the point where you could just go on TV and you could tell it was her. I forget what PBS anchor, but you could tell she was kind of should I ask this question? And she did. You could just see kind of like, maybe I shouldn't ask that question.
She's like, I'm gonna get hit with such fines for asking this question.
Yeah,
You know,
like,
let's face it. Eugenics has been a deep part of the progressive agenda for like 100 years now. I mean, it just has never gone away, and they just never give it up. And it's one of the most disgusting forms of collectivism and authoritarianism that I think humanity has invented, where these motherfuckers want to design the human race. They want them and their kids to have everything, and they want to control the working class, and like we're some kind of a working animal for them to just manage, like a beast.
Have you heard of this Tolosa thing?
No.
So like some billionaire that's not, I guess he wants to be Bill Gates, but he wants to build in the desert a new city in America that sets a global standard for urban living, expands human potential, and becomes a blueprint for future generations.
So Biodome. I saw this movie.
Whites only.
Pauly Shore. I've seen this movie.
Is there a eugenics tie-in?
Here, I'll send you guys
there
the
usually
link here.
is.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds super creepy. Like it sounds like something out of like
part of the
bad
Hans
sci-fi
Herman
movie.
Hoppe.
Yeah, it's part of the Build Back Better Biden agenda. This is some Green New Deal time. We got to build the biodome, build back better.
Fresh water is stored, cleaned, and reused on site. Renewable resources power the city.
Biodome. This is straight up Biodome.
Autonomous cars create safe, flexible streetscapes.
Does it use words like equitable distribution?
Yes,
and,
yes. Equitism.
Inclusive.
Well, here's a new word. Equitism.
Equitism.
Imagine living in
my
a city
God.
with an economic system in which citizens have a stake in the land. As the city does better, the residents do better. We call this equitism.
Call that
That
capitalism.
sounds like we call that commie bullshit.
Yeah, this is like 1 degree away from that like Zeitgeist project. Remember that shit?
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
we're gonna let a
be ruled by
robot. We're gonna let AI decide like who gets what.
And all this equity will be provided by Bill Gates's non-GMO seeds that he has up in a fucking vault in Antarctica.
Right. Remember
That's
who owns the most private agricultural land in the United States?
Oh yeah, his name's Bill Gates.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking
like,
of eugenicists
yeah,
and Epstein's Island.
And when Otto and I were at that Ron Paul event, and we talked about it. Robert F. Kennedy is up there, and he had biggest, I think it was like a $2 billion lawsuit against Monsanto, and he's up there with armed security guards, private security all around him. Gave his speech, got the fuck out of there, and it's just like, he took a couple pictures with people, but he was just like surrounded. He went in.
When your family legacy has a band called Dead Kennedys,
right?
You like to
but it just goes to show, if you don't go along with the program and look at how that just goes to show like this, and then the fact that he's coming out against all this COVID shit and all this fucking bullshit, it just goes to show you start making enemies, you might have to have, when you start threatening them, you might need security. So yeah, that was like, all of us were like, holy shit, this is pretty intense, that he had like a whole security detail.
No, I mean, that there's only after it's like one dead Kennedy, it's like, oh wow, it's tragic. It's like 2 dead Kennedys, like I think I need to start looking into this a little bit more seriously. And it's like after like the 7th one that died mysteriously or like assassination.
You think would it be the CIA again? They'd be like, we got to go kill another Kennedy. That's that how they?
They made the mistake. Like that's why the Bolsheviks, they killed all the Romanov family, even the little kids, because they're like, we don't want them growing up. They just CIA forgot.
They do think that way. They do think in terms of dynasties and bloodlines and centuries instead of decades.
So that's why we're all going to be sent to the FEMA camps while these biodomes are being built for the normies. So
we're just gonna run wild in the wilderness. I mean, we're gonna have Bitcoin, right? And they'll like be hunting us with like 3D. Like infrared drones, but somehow Somehow
What?
we'll survive.
We'll be in like some region of the Hunger Games where we'll be, the hunter gatherers.
Have you guys ever seen that movie? I've never even seen that movie. Hunger Games.
I saw the first one.
I saw
It's
the
pretty
first
good.
one, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Eh,
I liked Battle Royale better though.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, it was basically like based off of Battle Royale, which was like I think Chinese movie, which is the same thing. It's like these kids are like put on an island, and like whoever the last person to survive is, like, gets off the island or what have you. Came out way before Hunger Games. It's great.
Yeah, there was like so many movies of that genre. You know what? It's like, you ever see that movie The Road? That movie, like, that was fucking
I'm already
intense.
triggered. What's it about?
Wait, the
yeah.
post-aposcalyptic one?
Yeah, that was fucking
Well, that's
intense.
based
That
off
was
of
like,
a Cormac McCarthy book called The
Yeah,
Road,
I read that book.
which I read. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course
I mean,
you read it.
But the
course.
movie's excellent. But it's kind of like
Fucking
that,
nerd.
that movie came out. Hunger Games came out around then. What other, like, there was like so many of that genre. Now it's like 10 years later, it's like, holy shit, it's all coming true.
I know they got to
It's
do new.
happening.
We need new dystopian movies because
Right.
the others are all come true. It's
Right.
like
You're like, They Live is now like based on a true story.
Like, you put the glasses on, you see through
Inspired by
media
actual
propaganda.
events.
Right.
like roaming gangs of bandits like patrol the desert and looking for gasoline. Like
Right.
Oh my god.
the
What else,
Thunderdome. We need a Thunderdome.
It'll be in the Biodome, next to the Thunderdome.
It'll be Thunderdomes and Biodomes.
Everything's just domes.
2030.
Geodesic domes.
We could take Antifa and Proud Boys and like put them in a dome, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with those guys these days?
I don't know, they're still fighting.
What's Cantwell been up to? Is he in jail?
Snitching. Snitching
probably
for the
making-
feds.
Yeah,
He's probably making friends in
informing,
jail. I don't know.
Crying.
crying.
God, what a
Yeah, they need to do a follow up. They need to do a follow up on that.
Where are they now?
Dropping the toe.
Crying Nazi. Stefan Molyneux. Where are they now?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
is Stefan Molyneux? Because he got banned from like every major platform.
So
Is he on
Jacob
Odyssey?
Winograd, he was actually on a podcast the other day with this one guy.
Stormfront.
Yeah. RichardSpencer.com.
Fuck, what was it? What is it? Charlottesburg. Where are they now?
Yeah.
Or have like a reunion picnic
Reunion
like,
picnic.
with tiki torches, like
Yeah.
That felt awkward. Literally, like
That sounds like a Mises
summer.
event. We can make that happen.
Yeah. They will be in Northern Virginia. So,
Make it a Mises.
Where are they now?
dude, should I show up to the Mises event with a tiki torch and be like, so where do I go?
Where are the Jews?
Where,
I was told
where
there
are
would
they,
be.
and how do we replace them?
Yeah.
So I'll be starting the "They will not replace us" chant. That's my role.
Yeah, I'll be there, and you can just like escort me out in handcuffs.
Jared will not replace me. Jared will not replace me. Jared will not replace me. Jared Snyderman.
Snyderman. Yeah.
The
Fucking
Snydermans will not
Kyle
replace me.
misspelled my goddamn name.
Dude, that fucking
Yeah,
meme, that
Kyle
meme,
misspelled his name. That was so funny.
that
My name's
meme
not. My name's only on like every podcast. Well, I guess not. I guess I just put Jared. I used to publish my name with it, but
Right.
Oh man, remember
Bastard.
that Dan Smott's meme was so fire a couple months ago
which one?
with the Charlotte.
Oh.
Where yeah, we'd have to find the docs on that, but
It's with all the Loser Brigade of the LP is on it. It says the media
yeah,
talks about
photoshopped on like the Tiki Torch pros, and then above it is like basically Robbie the Fire, Dave Smith, Spike.
Woods.
Top and no, it was someone else too, but it was basically all the prominent. Ralph Bard, but they were
had they all turned on
photoshopped.
Spike? Has the
Yeah.
Fakatarians all turned
Yep.
on Spike?
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
He's a right.
Yeah.
He's a right
So-
wing grifter.
Yeah, so it was so funny. So then on top, yeah, we'd have to find the meme because it's we'll
Yeah.
find it. We'll have to
Yeah.
repost that.
Well, how about this? You guys, if you guys want to hear it, you guys can check out our After Hours podcast. We'll get the docs for you there, which we record right after this one. if you were saying to yourself, how do I listen to said podcast? Well, that's a great question. You should check out our Patreon and subscribe for as little as $1 a month. It's going to help us little by little get Rob Schneider on the podcast.
Wait, it's only $1 a month? I thought it was $1 per podcast. So I was thinking everyone's paying $1 for this, but really they're paying like 25 cents per show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Some months they're getting, some months even less than that when there's like 5 Sundays or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes
We're raising it. All right, we're raising that shit. Getting your money
inflation.
first.
Inflation.
Right, yeah, inflation. Yeah.
Thanks, Biden.
Thanks. So yeah, check out our Patreon, and if you don't like to use Patreon, and you have other ways you can donate to the podcast is over on prlfans.com. Also, please check out our sponsors at Wheelie's Pharmacy. Use the code PRL10 for a 10% discount on all of your CBD needs. We also have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. Use the code PRL Podcast. Get a 10% discount. Use the code PRL2 for a 20% discount if you spend $50 or more. Also tonight we are brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. Please check him out. And until next time, live free
Or die.